if you are staying in a school hostels, there will be roaches in your rooms. You can't keep your food stuff overnight without covering it. If not, the owners of the food would, take a portion of it, right? And this is totally, totally unacceptable, especially for young individuals who are um, growing up and learning in this very great citadel of learning, the University of Ibadan. So once more, please put your hands together for yourselves for finding time to come and join us for this event. Now, before we start, my name is Precious Ibe, and it is my very singular honor to be here having this conversation with you guys, because this is not necessarily a conference, it's a practical conversation. Practical conversation in the sense that we are not coming here to tell you stories. That is one of the reasons why you are not seeing a handheld mic. We're using a Laviela mic, right? And why is this? It's very simple. So that when we have our trainers come here to talk to us, they are not necessarily holding the mics, but they are giving you practical insights on how to use it. You know what this is, right? Who knows what this is? What is it called? Nose marks. No, this is not a nose marks. This is, we'll get there. We'll get there. So, so it is ridiculously important that you pay apt attention. So wherever you are sitting, I want us to just start officially. So just take a selfie. You could snap what you have here, post it on your story, send it to your class group, send it to your halls group. Let them know that something is currently happening in Zico JCR, and we want you to, or you want them to come and join and have an understanding of this. If I was to do a head count as to how many people know what bedbug is, or know what, I mean, roaches, it will surprise you to know that I graduated from the University of Ibadan. And it was up until I became an adult that I saw bedbug for the first time. And I was like, ha, what have I gotten myself into? And funny how the hostel I stayed is not so far from here. It's just behind there, the Great Independence Hall. And when I saw it, I was traumatized. I was demoralized. Because the annoying thing about bedbugs is that you see them when they want you to see them, right? So they operate based on their own terms. And it's very interesting to know that bedbugs, right? They are thermal sensing, in the sense that during the day, some people tell you that, oh, insects come out at night. No, that's not bedbug. Bedbug can come out in the afternoon, can come out in the night. It uses like something called like thermal sensing. So when you are sleeping, right, and your breathing pattern changes when you are sleeping, right? There's more heat secreted, and more carbon dioxide is sent out. Immediately that starts to happen, they can sense that you are sleeping. So if you sleep on a bedbug infested bed in the night, they will come out and have their fair share of the national cake. And if you sleep on a bedbug infested bed in the afternoon, they'll come out and they'll have their fair share of the what? Of the national cake, right? And not only would we be understanding how these things work, we'd also be taking it a step further and understanding not only how to cure them, but how, or eradicate them, but also how to prevent them. For someone like myself who always travels, right, it's always important to understand how to properly safeguard yourself from carrying bedbugs. Bedbugs are not endemic to a place, in the sense that this is not the origin of bedbugs. So bedbugs cannot just grow automatically and sprout in your rooms. They will be carried from somewhere to your rooms. But a place like halls of residence, they have a colony, they have administrative systems, they have a continent in places like this. But for some of you who stay in apartments in Agbo and stuff, who do not necessarily stay on campus, some of you might be in rooms that have not been exposed to bedbugs before. And when you visit a friend or a brother, I mean, imagine, oh my God, how embarrassing it would be for you to be talking to that babe you like, and you're like, oh my God, now, Shirley, no, you're dropping lines. Ever since I set my eyes on you. Thank you. Baby girl, I want you to be my what? I don't know what it's like. Don't give me a lie. What did you say? Drop, people know you should drop lines. Don't you give me lie. I don't know how to drop on this line. Give me one, give me one. Let me hear. Oh, Achalugo, Amumali, Sharp. Oh, see, there are some people you will tell that to. For instance, you are in Zico, you are in 300 level, you have 2,000 in your own pay. You are telling a girl you will marry her. That's a threat. You are threatening her life. But yeah, that aside, imagine you are talking to a beautiful lady you like, and all of a sudden, she just goes, oh, sorry, what's this in your clothes? And she picks out a student of the university in your clothes. I'm like, great, I'll be greatest, you are. Imagine how traumatizing that would be. My God. So, not only are we going to learn how to properly eradicate this stuff, we're also going to learn how to prevent them. One very important thing to note is that, you remember when we were taught Mr. Niger D in secondary school? For those of us that went to secondary school, right? Mr. Niger D. There was a time they added something to the D. What was that? A and C. So M is what? How did we enter here? M is what? R N I irritability. G E R D A C almost. Please put your hand out for yourself. That's very easy. Now, what I'm going to pick out from there is in adaptation, right? Adaptation in all these insects, all these pests, there is a very, very high rate of adaptation. So, if you are using, they call them OTC product. OTC product means over-the-counter product. For instance, you go to Shogun and you see a product, they write like Bedbug killer, and you're buying it for like 700 naira. There's no way that will kill or properly eradicate the bedbug. What that does is that it could eliminate a few, but for the other bedbugs remaining, they start to build a resistance, they start to like adapt to them. That is why when you have professionals like our amazing guys at SB, the type of product or the type of chemicals that will be used to treat these bedbugs are chemicals that first they are not usually exposed to, they have not been able to build a resistance to, and some of these chemicals have autoimmune functions in the sense that they kill them in a different way. Do you understand? So, for some of you, I don't know how I'm going to do it, but I think somebody would be lucky enough to win probably how do we call it now? A session. Like, oh, this is your room, or this is your, we'll measure it, we'll do like probably 10 square meters. Not that you now win a free fumigation service, you now carry us to your daddy's church. Like, just a small room, and we would like probably help you do that, and you'll see firsthand how it is supposed to be done, right? So that's majorly the introduction. We're about to set up properly, and when we are done setting up, we'll start on time, right? But let's just have a conversation as we have been conversing. Aside Bedbug, which is the notorious criminal in this conversation, what other insects are ridiculously annoying for us? Cockroaches. Which type? Is it the big one or the small one? What's the difference? Who knows the difference between the big cockroach and the small cockroach? Who knows the difference? Their size. Cockroach get different size. See, you know, Remember biology? For those of us who remember biology, you know metamorphosis. Almost, you know metamorphosis.
The doctor.
Doctor almost. So, you know in metamorphosis, there are the ones who undergo complete metamorphosis and incomplete metamorphosis, right? So, they start from, okay, look at some of the life cycle of a cockroach. Egg, yes. Larva. If I'm not wrong, I think cockroach undergo incomplete metamorphosis. So it's from the eggs to the nymph. Then the nymphs are usually the wingless cockroaches. Then they become full-grown cockroaches. It's funny how for most of us here can be like, I can kill cockroach, cockroach is small. But when they start flying, do you understand? Right? So cockroaches, but who knows the difference between the big ones and the small ones? You know there are some that they don't grow beyond this size. And you are always in your cupboard, always eating wood, always constituting absolute total nuisance. Who knows the difference between those cockroaches and the smaller ones? Anybody? Tinko, because this is a conversation. Who knows the difference? And after today's class, or after today's conversation, you'll be able to know that, oh yes, I am a pest enthusiast. Like, I understand how this thing works. So one of the things we need to understand about eradicating or controlling pests like cockroaches, the first one is entry point, right? So if you have a kitchen, cockroaches are usually predominant in the kitchen. If you have a kitchen and there are cracks in the walls, there are holes under your doors, and there are places where these cockroaches can get in, they will get in. So the first thing is point of entry, queuing. The second one is arborage. Like, arborage in the sense that when they now enter your kitchen, is there a place for them to stay? So if there is a place for them to stay, they don't like too hot weather, somewhere that is calm, like soft life. Probably they'll see newspaper to munch on as snacks. Quick snacks, right? Or they see wood. That's arborage. So there's a point of entry, there's arborage. And finally there is food. So when there is a point of entry, there's arborage and there's food, they will stay. That's why you see cockroaches. They don't want to leave. You kill two, tomorrow you are seeing another one. Because even though you kill all of them, there's a point of entry. They'll still enter again. So imagine you properly fumigate your kitchen. And that day you're like, yes, all the cockroaches are dead. Right? 3 days later, the vapor has gone down. And there's a point of entry. Fresh cockroach from another place, when they come in, they will come in. That's point of entry. Secondly, if you fumigate everywhere, right, and you do not take out their arborage, meaning the place they used to stay, even after you have done it, while you are still fleeting, some of them will be hiding in those corners and you will not catch them. Yes or yes? Yes. And finally, food. Food in the sense that if you are a gentleman or a lady who cooks, if you can cook here, raise up your hand. Just wait. If you can cook. Don't be, if you can cook, raise up your hand. Don't be shy. Don't be shy. I don't understand how you pass. You eat bolid in the morning. Afternoon you eat new flour. Night you eat suya. Sharp. Don't worry. School just resumed. I give you week 7. You will know that Gary is very flavorful. You feel the new flavor of Gary. Don't worry. So the part about food is that when you cook in your kitchen, right, and you don't properly cover your pot, your utensils, or you like working in bulk. So you will cook, you will not wash the plate, you eat, you will not wash the plate, you will pile everything there. You are providing them food. So they will keep coming. Right? Or you have a dustbin in your kitchen and you don't throw it out. So most of you, your room is your kitchen. So, you know what I mean? So you eat snacks, cook, you eat, yada yada yada, and everything like that. Are we on the same page?
Yeah.
Are we on the same page?
Yes.
Esme, are we good to start? Okay, lovely. So now we'll be starting by reciting the national anthem and school anthem. Do I have Mr. Shofu Ajibola? Is he here? Is he here? So you'll be coming in for the opening prayer. Can we all rise? Can we all rise? After I'll take the opening prayer, I'll take the prayer. Can we all rise? Can we all rise? After I'll take the opening prayer, I'll take the national anthem. I will take UI anthem. Can we rise? Can we rise? Please rise. Please rise. Please rise. Please rise. Please rise. After the opening prayer, national anthem, and then the anthem of the first university in Nigeria. Soft. First up, please. Prayer.
Good afternoon. This message was alright for me. Jesus, thank you for bringing us to this beautiful garden in knowledge. This beautiful garden in knowledge. It's not by our power or our right or our will, but by your grace and mercy. I will thank you, Lord, for bringing us this in Jesus. Everything that is, every distraction, everything I want to distract us from, I think this eventual reason in Jesus' name. Let us go back to our abode safely in Jesus' name. Jesus' mighty name, I pray. Amen.
Still rising, let's recite the national anthem of our very dear nation, Nigeria. Wow. Louder. Our flag shall be Can you please put your hands together for yourselves? Please put your hands together for yourselves. Please put your hands together. Please put your hands together. Almost give us light music. Please put your hands together. Please take your seat. Take your seat. Take your seat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Now, without wasting much of our time, very esteemed ladies and gentlemen, without wasting much of our time, very esteemed ladies and gentlemen, we hear from one of the pillars of health in the University of Ibadan, right? We're currently in Z called JCR, and the health minister for this very prestigious hall, Nabi Azikwe Hall, in person of Mr. Kenya Durham, will be having a short conversation with us as we'll be talking on matters pertaining to health and how you can better stay prepared or better adapt or keep yourself abreast to matters of health in the university. To resounding applause, join me as we specially welcome Mr. Kenge Adura Agbebi. Put your hands together, put your hands together, put your hands together.
that my own has been hope at the end of this like we want to ensure that and basically I want us to talk about the other aspect of health also. Hello? Yeah, okay. I want us to talk about the other aspect of health in taking care of our personal hygiene because these are the bedrock if you want to create solution to the issue of bedbugs. In our rooms, we have to take care of our personal hygiene and sweeping the floors and even, I mean, not packing clothes anyhow and a lot of things also. So we have to ensure that we live an healthy life. So that is basically on the issue of health and that is what I am currently now. That's what I have currently. I will call any of the health ministers that are available that also want to speak one or two to our guests.
Hey, good afternoon, everyone. How are you all doing? So, I'd like to especially welcome us all to this training. As you all know, it's a training, so it means that we're going to be learning from this particular event. So you are going to be going home with experience, you are going to be going home with something new. In fact, probably solutions to some of the issues you've probably been facing for a long time. Like Kelly said, almost every one of us here have had issues with bedbug. Or do we have anyone here that has not had, you've never had any issue with bedbug before? Oh, it's most likely going to be a lady. I mean, I don't think there's any boy here, sorry, any male here that can say they've never seen bedbug before.
What do you mean?
Especially those from below Osha. Just say. Okay, so like I said, the Council of Health Ministers is, we just actually like got organized. We just, when I say we just, we just formed, it was just formed because we are just newly elected health ministers, and this is the first project that would actually even be working on. It's something that we even started over the holiday. Before some of us, we started the holiday, we started the program preparation even before I was inaugurated as health minister. So it shows the work we've actually been putting in place. And to get people to actually come here for something like this is not an easy thing because most people don't, we're all suffering from bedbugs, but come and learn how to actually stop them. No one wants to, except they see maybe at 7 boldly written on the internet. And it's a free something. I'm pretty sure everyone here, you all got the ticket for free, right? We all got the ticket for free. So It's not something that happens easily. We have to partner with PestInsight and along with some other sponsors that we can see on the banner. Yeah, so they donated and sponsored this event and this particular training. Yeah, so in the training we're going to be learning how to handle bedbug infestation for real this time around. No mixing of kerosene and as nice. I like our host said, he said that's OTC, what we call over-the-counter solution. We just mix kerosene or something sharp. In fact, there was a time, let me share my own experience. As a fresher, I never knew anything about bedbugs. Like, I've never seen bedbug before. And when I got to the hostel, I was like seeing memes about bedbug. There was a meme I saw that was like, almost something they bite me. I pressed in a mosquito. The person was like, I hope it is mosquito. And then I was like, what does this mean? They were like, have you not heard of bedbug before? I was like, bedbug? What's bedbug? It was like a myth until they decided to use me as an example. Our room got infested. The first time you go infested, overnight you just wake up and see some bumps on your hand. You'll be like, something's just catching me, like, and then like, oh, it's not bedbug. No, it's not bedbug. And then you think maybe I'm reacting to something. Until it increased from my own room to our neighbor's room, to the entire room, and nobody could sleep. I can remember that before I sleep, I will carry, where was it called? All these long clothes, like, I'm in UK. Drag it, wear socks, put on everything, just to make sure they don't bite. But still, they'll still bite. And the thing about that is that we don't understand the effect that it has. It's caused a lot of things. Lack of sleep. In our room, we'll just be like around 2. I'll wake up scratching. I'll see my room is scratching too. Everyone is scratching. And we're all awake and we're looking at ourselves like, oh, what is this? You become a, let's say, a researcher. We're looking for things that we can put on our body to reduce itchiness. And I think I actually made a discovery. Anytime I add that kind of drop, I'll put Vaseline on it. I was so desperate to look for how the itching will stop. I just said, let's try Vaseline. I've tried all that things, water, cream, until I tried Vaseline and I was like, Vaseline actually like reduced the itchiness. I think that's worthy of a discovery. No one is clapping. Wow. So I just hope you don't ever have to use Vaseline again to like stop that kind of itchiness. So it actually causes a lot. Yes, we had sleepless nights for like days, and then you see people who are saying, what happened? Are you not sleeping? Like, it's only in the afternoon we can sleep because at afternoon, I think they are nocturnal insects, so they don't really come out like that in the afternoon. So it's only in the afternoon we actually got the chance to like sleep and everything. So it was really, really bad to that extent. So we did some sort of fumigation, quote unquote. We did the normal mixing where like buy today. Sprayed everywhere, every surrounding, hoping that okay, it will go. It did reduce, but it was just temporary for like a day or something. Before we could get a solution that actually lasted for a while was that we call some people to do some around. We had to stay out of the room for like days. But still, even after like a month, they came back again. And so it was a really, really big issue. And after the whole thing, it's something that I had to like put in my own, even when one of the reasons when I ran for the hospital, even like right now, I had to go and be meeting the freshers, made infographics that, hey, bedbug is real. You see some freshers, you have to, you know your bedbug? Like, what's this bedbug? So we have to like take preventive care now to try to make sure it doesn't happen again. But the truth of the matter is, bedbugs are like, that the kind of issue that you cannot really, let's say, eliminate totally. You cannot eradicate it. So even as much as we take preventive measures, you don't know. Even if, okay, we said cleanliness, be clean actually, yes, it's very true. Prevent clusters, don't have deaths around you. You do all of that. But still, someone from maybe like Bedo Hall now can just come and greet you and carry a whole, sorry, is anyone from Bedo here? No one is from Bedo here? Oh, okay, I'll save you. Someone from Bedo can just come with a pile of bedbugs. Like he said, it's all bedbug is We won't know, we just come, we just sit down in the bedbug, transferring and everything. And they multiply very, very fast. They are very, very fast multipliers. One bedbug, they just need a little bit of your blood and they will start replicating. They replicate very, very fast. So once that happens, bedbug infestation starts again. So even as much as we take preventive measures, we also have to like learn how to, when I say cure them or treat them, which is one of the things we'll actually be learning today. PestInsight will be training us today on how to actually handle the entire situation that one has to suffer from it again. I do hope we are ready to learn today. Are you ready to learn? I'm already speaking like I'm here to train you. I'm not going to be the training, but we're all here to learn. But like I said, the Council of Health Ministers put down this initiative to help everyone in every hostel. If we can all play our part in every hostel, okay, at Zik, we have people from Zik, can raise up our hands. Zico. I mean, Zika should be the plaintiest here, isn't it? I mean, why your territory, or if you're from, okay, I already asked for Bedo. We don't have anyone from Bedo. We are from Teda. We have anyone from Teda? Oh, okay, 2 people from Teda. If you are from Tutsi, please raise up your hand. Raise up your hand now. Okay, okay, cool. From Menambi. Okay, we are from Menambi. From Queens also. Queens, oh. Just one person from Queens. Wow. We are from How. Okay, 3 people from How. Okay, we are from Queen India. 1 person from Queen India. Which is also a code, sorry. Oh, India. Oh, sorry. Sorry, Indy. You are from Indy. Okay, only you from Indy. Okay. Private. Do you have people from private hostels? Private hostels, they don't have that kind of problem. Okay, no problem. Yeah, so welcome everyone once again, and yes, hopefully we'll be gaining from what we have to do today. Yes. I think that's from me. So I'll call on another item to Mr. Superman.
So basically, good afternoon everyone. My name is Abdi, and I'm the health minister from the Telltale. So my co-members have said it all. So I'll share my experience of this bedbug relating and pests. So we started in 100 level. Currently, I'm a 100 level student. How come it's not easy now? Well, no, I'm not a finalist. This is easy. Any student from Faculty of Pharmacy, can I see one? Stop playing now. They understand what's going on. Sorry. I'm very, very sorry. Student from other faculty. I'm sorry. I'm not proud of them. Just, at least, I should be proud of my faculty now. Anyhow, any student from MBS? Yeah? I want to keep my proud. I'm proud now. So basically, it started from 100 level. Well, when I entered the room, so we fumigated the room. Normally, that's how we do. We fumigated the room to prevent cockroaches. We paint the room. Normally, big boy things now. I'm sure that. So there was this day, my friend, he had a friend in Below. He had a friend in Below. He visited him, so he spent 2 days in Below. So the 3rd day he came back. We didn't know. Seriously, we didn't know. Like after 2 days, we just started seeing small pests. I don't know what to call them insects. Then we have small thing walking on the wall. feel like, guy, Alpha, what's this now? He killed it. We saw blood. Ah! I feel like, guy, what's this? So I told one of my friends beside the room, said, you guys are brother, we had people this BB. He said BB. You know, I was like, what's BB? He said Bedbug. I was like, what? Oh, I was so shocked because that would be the first time I'm seeing something like that. BB. So from there, we started battling with this thing. We bought sniper. I think sniper is a common insecticide that is common among every one of us, right? Or is there anything you people buy? I only know of sniper. Oh, and so this DD force. I saw that more. We bought sniper. We used that old bottle of sniper to fumigate the room. You can't believe this thing has stayed there. You are going to have insomnia. I mean, you can't even sleep. Why? Because when you sleep and you just feel something's eating your skin, or more, you go stand up. You don't stand up, okay? Because they are so annoying. You know, you are sleeping and you just do something scratching your body. And the way, okay, people are fresh up. Have you killed a bedbug before? You know, this thing, all these things, they soak your blood until they are soaked. You know, they will be soaked and they will bigger. If you kill him, you say, oh, your own personal blood will see. So that's how annoying it can be. So that's why we are here today, to have like an enlightenment on how to prevent or how to maintain this billion and all of that pest. Do you have anybody that has seen cockroaches in their room? Do you know how annoying they can be too? Especially the big ones. If you see them flying around, even that sound is very irritating. And the small ones too can also be challenging. Because you just see them walking around your food store, you just see them stomping. You just put anything on the ground, it's like you are eating your bread, and somebody just call you, go out, come back, you just see them, you feel like, so all these things, we need to like find a way to curb them. So that's why we are here today, okay, I think I should stop, I should continue. Oh, well, I think I'll have to stop here. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Can we please put our hands together? Can we please put our hands together? Okay, so we've been able to hear from 3 health ministers. The first person we heard from was our host health minister. The health minister for which hall? Which hall? What is it called? There's no thing called in UI program. Which hall? And the second hall was from one of our female hostels. What hall is that? What hall? Kuti hall. Am I Kuti hall, right?
That's a violation, sir.
So Kuti hall and third health minister from one hall. What? What is that? Tennis? Telltale hall. In UI? Okay, from Telltale hall. I mean, please put that together from the Now we're going to start officially with the training session of today, Now I'll implore you to please bring out your pens, your books, your phones, your iPad. I'm not sure everybody has an iPad here, but just bring out what you can use to jot things down, right? And make sure you learn, don't only listen, jot things down. Because you get practical steps for you to be able to properly control pests, eradicate pests in case they're already there, and steps to keep your surrounding against pests. It is incredibly important we keep them against pests. So now we'll be hearing from the man himself, our chief host for today's event. He'll be talking to us on pest control, how we can properly control pests, the best approaches, and what to do. So if your hands are not too busy, join me as we specially welcome
to this side of the hall for the practical training, the one, the only, the CEO, founder, and lead pest manager at SB Super Pest Solutions. Please put your hands together for Mr. Shofu Babalola. Please put your hands together. Keep your attention, keep your attention, keep your attention, keep your attention. Keep clapping, ladies and gentlemen. Keep clapping, ladies and gentlemen. Amazing, amazing, amazing.
All right. Good morning, everybody. Good afternoon. Sorry.
You get time. You get time.
All right. Good afternoon, everyone, once again. All right. So you can hear me loud and clear, right? Fantastic. Okay. So my name is Shofu Babalola, to plus SB for short. First and foremost, I would first appreciate you guys for coming for this first meeting edition of PestInsight for School initiative set up by SB Super Pest Solutions, formerly SB Fumigation Service. Our major focus is actually to educate people, communities on pest management and pest control methods in terms of solving pest problems. Please, am I audible enough? Alright. Okay. So basically just to educate us, just to educate every single person about pest control. But we talk about it, where do we start from exactly? Right? And I remember that when I started SB Fumigation Service 6 years ago, I started from Independence Hall, University of Ibadan. So when we got 5 years, that was last year, what we did was that we took 5 hostels, 5 rooms in 5 hostels, and we treated them for free, just to help solve the pest problem. Basically, I'm just kind of person that is interested about solving pest problems. And maybe not so bothered about what profit or what, definitely business is all about profit, right? But we also need to also look at how can we impact the society, how can we help to solve this pest problem, which is a major focus of SB Fumigation Service formerly, and now we rebranded to SB Super Pest Solutions, right? So today we discovered that University of Ibadan is not just bothered about just bedbug infestation, but other pest issues like cockroaches and all. But trust me, today we're not just going to be talking about bedbugs because I'm sure if you have experience with bedbugs, please just raise your hand. Why are you so fast? You have been waiting for me to ask that question. Okay. So sorry, I didn't see the hands. Wow. I'm making me feel like, hey, how do I help you? Okay. So if you have issues with other pests, can you start listing them? Other pest issues? Yeah.
Big rats.
Big rats. Okay, fantastic. Any other one? In fact, she did not mention the rats, then big rats, emphasis on the big. Okay. Any other one? Mosquitoes. Good. Okay, any other one? Cockroaches. I mean, when I started, I was actually, I treated for most of the ones. Zeke, Indy, they were like consistent clients. Sorry for the Zeke guys, we had issues, we had high infestation of bedbugs, majorly, but there are other issues like cockroaches, especially German cockroaches. The MC, when he started, he was asking about what's the difference between the big ones and the small ones, right? So you will notice that those small ones, those ones that have experienced this cockroach infestation issue, you notice that those small ones, you are seeing them most times in the kitchen area. Or maybe if you stay in the one-room apartment, you are seeing them around that place where you keep your gas and your plates and all those kind of things. Because pests, generally, they need 3 things to survive. 3 good things to survive. Number 1, food, water, and shelter. So we are going to started the training, right? So basically, I love teaching. So some of these are going to be saying here that is actually not in the slide. So please, get your tutors and start writing. Okay? Because we are going to start assessing. Basically, what we do is try as much as possible to solve pest problem from the source. Alright? If you are going to solve any pest problem, you must try as much as possible to solve them from the source. Right? So what that means is that you need to look out for what really attracts them into your apartment. right? What is ensuring that they are sustainable, they are staying there, either they are harboring sites or not. So 3 things. Number 1, food, water, and shelter. Food for bedbugs is you and me, right? Water for bedbugs, it's your blood, right? So they don't drink, so what they suck is just your blood, so that's what they need, right? But in terms of cockroaches, especially German cockroaches, you notice that German cockroaches are actually found in your kitchen cabinet because what they feed on are the crumbs, liters of food items that they feed on in your kitchen cabinet, right? The water they feed on is the leaky pipes under your kitchen cabinet, those zinc, if you have zinc. But if you have other liters of water or something like that, it keeps them there. Then the average size, which is the shelter, is that kitchen itself, right? But for bedbugs now, your apartment, funny enough, is that your bed is actually the shelter. But the funniest thing about bedbugs is that because they are bedbugs, doesn't mean that they are usually staying in the bed, right? For those who have, if you have your bed in each of your room on the floor, please raise your hand. Fantastic. Okay. For those who have, if you have bedbugs, please, I'm going to also say this, please. Do not stigmatize when it comes to infestation. And that's one of the major reasons I'm going to start with. That's what I'm going to start with. Stigma is really, because you can't solve the problem if you are keeping it to yourself. Right? So please, I'm going to be asking questions and it might sound like, so but let's just go straight. If you have your beds on the floor, you will start to notice that the bedbugs are actually not on the bed, but you start to see them around your baseballs. Right? They're not fantastic. Okay? So you start to notice them around the electrical sockets. I have a video of one of the rooms our technicians shooted in, I think, was this sick or something? I rotated and saw one of the hostels, basically. And we have that video. I'll play it. So let's start. Right? I'll introduce you guys to what PestInsight is all about. Okay? And so, like I said, PestInsight initiative is founded by SB Super Pest Solutions, formerly SB Population Service. So if you, at the end of all this training, we cannot teach you everything, right? But we made it much more simpler and made it much more easier for everyone to be able to learn about pest control. And how do we do that? Very simple, 2 ways. Number 1, on our website you can actually take online courses. Number 2, on our Instagram account you can actually go there and watch many content. We pull out content actually every time. So you can check out most of the content right on Instagram. Okay? So, like I said, today we're not just talking about pests, we're talking about your comfort. How are you able to be comfortable in your apartment? When I started SB Fumigation formally, which is now SB Super Pest Solutions, the issue that made me start the bedbug problem was that I had issues with bedbug in my apartment, and I asked myself just one single question. SB, you're an industrial chemist. As an industrial chemist, how can you solve bedbug problem? Right? And when I started, I came up with our first insecticide, right? So we started selling to people on campus, then sell to homeowners, then try getting feedback. People were like, wow, this product is actually very much effective. Funny enough, somebody who actually bought the products before referred us to his dad, and we treated the apartment and we solved the problem. Then we started to look at, okay, fine. Since this problem is actually now a major problem, not just in a particular state or in a particular city, then right now we actually have 2 branches, both in Lagos and Ibadan, right? And we are major focusing on is basically solving the pest problem and ensuring that our clients sleep without worries, which is our tagline, right? Next. Okay, so if we're going to start, first thing first, what exactly are pests? Anything that affects human activity is pest, right? So if your neighbor is actually going to distract you from listening, your neighbor is what? Yes. Your neighbor is what? Go. Yes. Fantastic. All right. So if there's any pest around you, just control it. I love that rhyme. So pest control basically and management of pests. It basically refers to the control and management of pests. So most times people are just focused about how can they solve pest problem with just the use of chemical method. If at the end of this training, right, we're going to talk about that. So there are a lot of equipment here. Sometimes when we go out for our pest control treatment, some of our clients will be shocked, like, You guys are not with that big machine there. You guys are not with a big machine. You're just with a school bag, and the bedbugs are gone. How did we do that? First thing first, you need to understand the biology of this pest. You need to understand where they are staying, where they are breeding. Like I said, you treat from the source. Right? Treat from the source. So basically, every pest, it's important to note that every pest actually have different treatment method. Just things down. Every pest have different treatment method. Right? And different treatment method have different application method in solving the pest problem. Note these things down. Right? So the method you are using to control bedbugs sometimes might not be effective in controlling cockroaches in that same apartment. Right? The method you are using to control rodents, like I mentioned, big rodents. Right? Now, quickly, I'm going to talk about these 5 major public health pests. I'm going to talk about them, their hideout, the strategies of how to control them quickly before we now start focusing on bedbug control. Right? So first one, okay, mosquito. Okay, most times, if you look at mosquito, actually, other African countries have literally gained control of mosquito. The Nigerians, we are literally, far behind. On World Malaria Day, we dropped the PestInsight video on how to control mosquitoes in our environment. And it's very simple, very, very simple stuff. First thing first, what attracts mosquitoes to us? Like I said, treating from the source. What attracts mosquitoes to us? Right? Number one, what do they feed on? The male mosquitoes feed on nectars of plants. Nectars of plants. The female mosquito and Anopheles mosquitoes are the one that cause malaria. It means that they feed on your blood. Right? So now, because we know their feeding sites, we also need to understand their breeding sites. Okay? Now, the feeding site of the male mosquito is the nectars of plants. It means that their breeding site will be around the flowers. Are we good? Are we following? Fantastic. Now, for female Anopheles mosquitoes, which is the ones that cause malaria, dengue, and all those kind of things, right? Now, where do they breed from? They have metamorphoses that they go through, the larva, the pupa, and all these kind of things. Now, the larva will breed from the stagnant water that you have around. If you are still keeping stagnant water in your environment, those are breeding sites for female Anopheles mosquitoes. Now, how do you now spray your apartment thinking that the mosquitoes will go away, whereas you still have what they are breeding from around? Then we can't solve the pest problem. Right? Are we following? Good. That's the breeding site. Now, if you look at some, I don't have control over it. The fences, they put broken bottles. And this is rainy season. Right? Water starts to store inside those bottles. What does it cause? It starts to breed. Mosquitoes start to breed inside those places. So we have some people that will also keep tires, leftover tires somewhere. Mosquitoes start to breed. Maybe you just, for instance, put in what they call, maybe like a generator. People put their generator on top of tire, right? Then you notice that rain just fill up that tire side. Then you have mosquitoes start breeding there. In fact, you can also have drain flies start to breed from those areas. Then you are wondering, why are they there? Because you still have what they are breeding from. Right? So how then do you now control mosquitoes at that point? Then you need to first take away that stuff. In that kind of situation, there's what we call integrated pest management approach in solving pest problem. You necessarily don't need to apply pesticides. All you just need to do is stop what they are breeding from, which is their apparent site or their breeding site. For instance, take away the tires. Ensure that your gutters are flowing up, right? Your drainage are actually properly flowing. If you have agitated water, larvas will not breed at all. They will not breed. Same thing as people who have swimming pools. If you don't agitate your water regularly, mosquitoes will start breeding in those areas. Right? First thing first, take away all those things. When you take away all those things, you cut away the adult stage. Because the larvas are gone. Larvas cannot move all of a sudden to adults. Right? Are we good? Larvas cannot go straight to adults if you take away the larvas. What else? So the mosquitoes are gone already. Right? Second thing again is that Nigeria generally, we have issues. I'm now talking about why we are still far behind in solving mosquito problem. We have a lot of research scientists, but I feel like, personally, they are not addressing the problem the right way is meant to be addressed. Wow. So I'm going to explain this. In solving any problem, there are two ways: proactive method and the reactive method. If you look at the government, what are you doing? They share the mosquito nets, right? They tell you, like, if you go to hospital, they tell you, like, Martin or something, I don't know, or medical students. I'm not there, whatever. You know, so all these kind of drugs, but that is just reactive. That is just being reactive. But what about being proactive in solving the pest problem? Right? What about educating people like what we are doing now? So most people don't even know that these are things are actually causing mosquitoes in the environment to start to breed. Most people don't know all these things. So what about educating them about proactive methods? Now, also again, in solving larva problem, which is larvicides, you need larvicides. Okay, so generally, there's a general term for every pesticide. You have insecticide, you have herbicide, you have larvicides, they are all pesticides, right? Insecticide is also a pesticide. So larvicides, actually, what larvicides does is to control the larva stage, right? Now, if there is no accessibility of larvicides, effective larvicides, or effective pest control products in Nigeria, it becomes a problem, right? It becomes a problem in having a perfect solution in solving the pest problem, right? So now, what that means is that in Nigeria generally, you would agree with me that most of the products you have in the market are agrochemical, including sniper that everybody uses. Sniper is not going to be used in residential apartments. If you read the label very well, it is stated in the label, properly stated in the label, that it is meant for farm. They are agrochemicals. They are meant to be used on farm, right? So it's really important that we take away all these things and make availability of what we call public health insecticides or public health pesticides, which is why we are still far behind, right? Because now there's a tax waiver on agrochemicals. I'm giving you insider information, right? There's a tax waiver on agrochemicals, so it's easier for you to import agrochemicals into Nigeria compared to buying public health products, right? This particular product here is a bedbug tip, right? The bedbug tip that is inside of it. It has silicone dioxide and methyl that is inside of it. This product is not in Nigeria. I was one about it from Sweden, right? So imagine shipping costs. Shipping costs. Now, in fact, the issue that we have, the issue I have with this product is paying the manufacturers, because it's literally very hard to make payments to them because of Nigerian CBN rules and all this kind of things. So how then you now encourage distributors to get in proper products into the country? So that's why we are still far behind. Because first thing first, they need to be proactive. What are the best methods that can be applied in solving the pest problem? Which starts from the products that are available in the market. But if you are used to these agrochemicals, then it causes resistance. Okay? That's for mosquito. We have cockroaches. There are two major species of cockroaches. Two major ones. There are still other species, over 1,000 species. Right? But two major ones in Nigeria. We have the American cockroach, which is what you're seeing there. This particular one, this is the big one. Everybody knows the big one, right? Yeah. Fantastic. You see this big one, right? You see them in the drainage, around the drainage area. You start to see them, sometimes you see them dead. You have wonder, what is killing this cockroach? They're not doing fantastic. What is killing them? Right? But you know that sometimes when you apply insecticides in your apartment, there are some insecticides that are actually aerosols. Those rain and all, they are aerosols. The way they make them is that their active ingredients are meant to actually stay in the air, right? So if you read the label, sometimes they write it in the label that it has a knockdown effect, right? So sometimes you see most of these American roaches dead. You see them coming out from the toilet, you see them coming out from the drainage, because that's where they are breeding from. Remember the breeding site and the feeding site. If you're trying to find out a way to feed, that's when you start to see them coming out of your toilet or your drainage. Now, second one is the German cockroach. Those ones, no doubt, you see them in the kitchen area. The kitchen cabinets, those are where they feed on. Those are places that they feed, those are places that they breed. And funny enough, the egg has about 40 uticas, 40 eggs inside of that utica. So if you have a female German roach, then welcome to the house of the cockroach. Because it becomes literally harder. And again, most of these pests, they gain resistance to pyrethroids. Pyrethroids and other class of activities. I'm going to explain all those things properly. So that you also know the type of products that you are buying in the market is solving these problems. I'm going to do that. So you are very, very lucky to be here because literally the secret of how to solve this problem, the active ingredients, how to make decisions properly in solving pest problem will be stated in this class. Alright? So we also have rodents. So for rodents, for the person that mentioned big rats and big rodents, there are two things in solving rodents. Number one, exclusion. Exclusion. Exclusion is basically sealing up all the entry point and exit point. If you seal up where they are coming in and where they are going out from, there's no how they can't come into your apartment. Right? They can't fly. So that's the way. So when you put that, then the next thing is to put a rodenticide place that can actually kill them. The ones that are trapped inside. Do something that will kill them. That's all. That's all. So you necessarily don't need to go there and start spraying everywhere. It's funny enough, you see pest control, people will invite pest control operators and they'll just go into apartments and they'll just go with something like this compressor sprayer. And they blow everywhere with insecticide and feel like, oh, if it is not choking, then it's not effective. I want to break that myth now. Like it is even choking, it is not even effective. Right? Because now, what is causing most of these insecticides to be choking is determinant on the active ingredient that is inside. Or let me rephrase it again. What is causing the insect from dying? It depends on the active ingredient that is actually in that insecticide. Right? If you check most of these products that you have or that you've used before, read their label, it is stated there that the active ingredient contains maybe 0.5, 0.05 million or 0.05 which is not sniper contains, which is organophosphate active ingredient. Right? Maybe just 0.05 of it. The rest is maybe just the solvents. The rest is also maybe adjuvants. Now, there is a particular product that people use, right? What they do is that probably add formalin to kerosene and mix it with most products and start to choke, right? Am I correct? Why you guys be like, you don't use it before? Okay. So when you start to notice that the smell is actually very choking, it is not the active ingredient that is actually causing the choking smell. It is probably the preservative. Formalin itself that causes that itchy eyes and all this kind of choking smell. It is not, it won't kill the bedbug. Right? It is just a preservative that will keep the insecticide to a certain shelf life. That's all. So why then the choking smell? So most times we'll say it's not choking, then I cannot patronize it. But if you're using a public health product, public health products are actually labeled to be odorless. Public health products that are actually public health. You have some here. In every of the label, it is stated that it's odorless. That's why you start to say odorless fumigation. And again, let me state this. There is a big misconception about fumigation and pest control. Right? Fumigation, what fumigation means is that we are using fumigant, which is the gaseous tablets in your apartment. And if you're going to do fumigation, you have to tense this entire building. You have to tense the entire building. Right? So literally in Nigeria, in fact, maybe just 1 or 2 people are actually operating fumigation service in Nigeria. Every other person is doing pest control. So you need to understand this. If there's anything you want to take out from here, you start to correct people about the difference about fumigation and pest control. Anything you are doing that has to do with sanitation, habitat alteration, and biological control or insecticide application is basically pest control. Or exclusion practice is basically pest control. Right? Okay, so that's for rodents. And secondly, we have flies. Basically, flies will always come into your apartment for things that attract them. Maybe food. Take away all those foods away and then food. Bedbugs, which is where we are going to be delving into properly. Let's go. Alright, are we good? Are we learning something? Yeah. Fantastic. Alright, so here I wrote bedbugs are actually the most underrated rodents on campus. Right? So bedbugs are the most underrated rodents on campus. Okay? So now, why did I say they are most underrated? Because number one, stigma keeps people silent. Most people feel like, I have bedbugs, I don't want to visit, I don't want to tell people about bedbug infestation and all those kind of things. Alright? So I don't want people to be embarrassed, or I don't want people to embarrass me about bedbugs and all those kind of things, right? Number two, they are underestimated. So people start to use DIY products or just poor treatment method only to kill the adults. And funny enough is that most of these most of these treatments that have been applied or insecticides that they use to control most of these pests actually just kill the adults. None of them kills the eggs. Sometimes, most of the agrochemicals, if they are not labeled as insect growth regulators, notice this, before any insecticide, right, is going to kill the eggs of any pest, right? Or let me say kill, because insect growth regulators basically are not meant to kill. They are only meant to stop them from growing from one stage to the other. It means that their lives are actually terminated. That's why I use the word kill. Right? So insect growth regulators. If there is no insect growth regulator in that product, or it is not labeled to kill the eggs, like I said, if the product is not labeled to kill the eggs, then do not expect it to kill it. Right? And the moment you start to solve pest problems, which like bedbug issues in your apartment, without dealing with the eggs, you are back to square one. So that's why most times you have, there is a cycle. I actually drew up, came up with the bedbug cycle, right? And discovered that when you treat bedbug at some point, they will always come back after 2 weeks. I agree, right? You agree? If you have been using most of these common products in the market, you discover that for 1 month now you are free of them. Then the next month they are back again. And they are now back with full force. Because now, bedbugs go through 3 different resistance. 3 different stages of resistance. Mind you, we actually have a quiz at the end of this my training session. And in that quiz session, the winner will be going on with a voucher for free pest control treatment, then for other gifts like that. So please, there are some things I'm mentioning now that you have to take note of. Right? Are we good? Good. They go through 3 different resistance. Number 1, metabolic resistance. Okay? Penetration resistance and target size resistance. I'm going to explain this actually in the slide. Alright? So it's really important that you do not underestimate bedbugs, underestimate them. Their long-term effects or long-term impacts is usually ignored. Like your sleep, it's affecting your sleep, it's affecting your productivity, your classes, you're not. Because most times you notice that bedbugs bite middle of the night, then around 5 a.m., 4 a.m., that's when it's happy. Yes. Fantastic. From the experienced person. Okay, so you can't solve a problem if you don't know about the problem, right? I've experienced them a whole lot. So most times, usually around 4 a.m., 5 a.m., some wonder, why is this sleep just getting late? Yeah. Around 5 a.m., that sleep is not good, right? But whereas, before that time, you were going, you see you on the bedroom, so you don't underestimate them because they can actually affect all your daily activities and cause distress, okay? Now, what exactly is bedbugs? What exactly bedbugs? Bedbugs belongs to the family of the insect called Simidae. Alright? All members of the family exclusively they feed on blood. Can you see this one? Okay, sorry. The child was supposed to share this afterwards. Okay? So now, bedbugs basically they are obligated to blood feeding, right? And they are ectoparasites, right? Insect ectoparasites includes 5 instances and are requiring a blood meal to molt. What that means is that bedbugs will only grow from one stage to another until they go through the molting stage. That I'm going to explain with the picture. Right? So ruminants are actually parasitized by 2 bedbug species. So there are 2 types of bedbug species. Number 1, we have the common bedbugs and the tropical bedbugs. Simex lactularius and Simex epsilarius. You don't know the difference. The major thing is that bedbugs just biting you. Right? But in sub-Saharan Africa, we have mostly more common bedbugs, right? They still have the same treatment method, they still have the same method of controlling them, we still have the effective strategies of controlling them. But basically, it's important to note that there are 2 different species, Simex lactularius and Simex epsilarius, right? So now, this is the life cycle of bedbugs. First thing first, it goes through from the eggs to the nymphs to the adults. 3 things: the eggs, the nymphs, and the adults. Please take note. Because those are the signs of bedbugs that you'll be noticing in your apartment and signs that will actually help you in solving them. Fantastic. Help me. Fantastic. Alright? So for them to move from one level of nymph stage to the other, they go through 5 instars. Like I said, jump things out. Okay? They go through 5 instars. So that's why you will notice that you have eggs and you start to notice small ones after some period of time. Then all of a sudden, after 2 weeks or 3 weeks, they start to notice the adult again. Right? So these are the things that you actually need to start watching out for in your apartment. Next slide. There's a slide before. Okay. Alright, so this is much more visible. So now, the difference between the two is actually just in the abdomen area, like the head, right? That's not the major difference. So that's the difference. Maybe much more easier. And again, for the male and female mosquito to mate, they go through what they call traumatic insemination, right? And the funniest thing is that the reason why you have more infestation of bedbugs is because if you have the female bedbugs, right, they need to mate before it can actually give birth to eggs, right? They need to mate. But how can it be just one? You picked up one from the cow, or you picked up one from one of your roommates, then after some 2 weeks, 3 weeks, you start to notice high infestation of bedbugs. You're wondering how just one multiplied into hundreds, right? Because in the lifetime of just the female roach, the moment he mates once like this, the eggs is like I said, everywhere. So far they can just feed on blood and they move on. So they need blood to move. They need you and me to move to the next stage. So there are different types of insecticides that are being used or that are actually labeled to get rid of bedbugs in your apartment. I've listed some of them. Back in the days, you have mercury, you have chloride and all sort of fumigants that are being used to control bedbugs, right? But this time around, if you check history, you have DDT that has been banned over the years, right? So you now have, in the market, you have more influx of organophosphates, like sniper, which is the most common one in the market, right? But that is actually, that particular product itself is actually labeled for algae, right? Take note, it is labeled for algae. But now I think they have like other products that can actually, work for you. Yes. Right? Also, we have pyrethroids. Pyrethroids are another different active ingredients that can actually get rid of bedbugs in our environment. All you need to do is look out for products that have active ingredients of pyrethroids in them. Right? So if you check most of those products that have pyrethroids, like tetramethrine, cypermethrin, or hypercypermethrin, or those kind of things, those ones are pyrethroids. But the funniest thing is that as an February 30 article, and they said that fipronil, bedbugs have gained resistance over fipronil. Fipronil is an active ingredient of phenylpyrazole in different parts of, not listed here, right? So why I'm saying this is because you need to actually read the label. Any product you want to apply, any, read the label. What is actually stated in the label to get rid of them? Does it have the capability to kill them? Does it have the capability to kill the insect itself? Does it have the capability to actually kill the eggs? You need to take note of those things, right? Fipronil itself is not actually even labeled or manufactured, basically, to kill bedbugs, right? They work majorly for cockroaches. Like I said when I started, every pest have different treatment method, and different pests have different treatment application method in getting rid of the pest in your apartment, right? So, same as different locations like that where they stay. Okay, so now I've said about the basic biology of bedbugs. Number one, the eggs, the nymphs, and the instars. I actually placed the instars there specifically, but it's not part of the cycle, the life cycle, right? They only go through eggs, nymphs, and adults, right? But definitely they will go through different instars, the 5 stages of instars before they go into the adult stage. And when they go into the adult stage, they start to breed properly. From the eggs, from the nymphs, when they start to go into the nymph stage, they start to breed, they start to feed on the blood, right? They start to feed on the blood. So because you know all these things, which is the basic biology of this pest, right, you already start to understand the signs of infestation in your apartment. Now, bedbugs require blood in order to reproduce and complete their life cycle. Before they can move into the next stage, from that first instar to the second instar, they need your blood, right? So how do you now make sure your blood is not available for them to feed off? Now, I'm going to say this. If you stay out of your apartment for 3 months because of bedbugs, my brother, you will come back to the apartment and meet the bedbugs again, alive, bouncing self. So you don't need to, you want to start taking your bed out, right? If you're the type that, I think I came here yesterday and I saw like some beds outside, I saw the bunks outside, some of this, the hostels like that. In fact, if I tell you that that's one of the major reasons why you still have high infestation of bedbugs, surprised, right? Now, Bedbugs hide in nooks and crannies. They hide in edges of chairs. They hide around, let's say there's bedbug here, right? You will see them around underneath here, right? You see them around these places. And the moment you start to move those things, move your table or move your chair around, they will always move because they're fast. They will always move, they will change their position. And now imagine you carrying this bed from, let's assume this is a table, carrying the bed from your sitting room outside. Some of them will drop on the floor, right? And when they drop on the floor, where will they move to? Your baseboard. That's when most times you start to see them around your electrical sockets. You start to see them around your baseboard. You start to see them around the walls. You start to see them in the roof. I have videos I'm going to play here, right? So you need to take note of all these signs so that you prevent infestation in your apartment. Eggs, the nymphs, the insects, and the adults. Like I said, a female bedbug can lay up to 500 eggs in their lifetime. So if you have just one female, so far they've done the whole traumatic insemination once. It is like I said, next thing, right? So now, bedbugs lifestyle. How do bedbugs breed? How do they survive and all those kind of things? They have this lifestyle called a aquatic lifestyle, meaning they are nocturnal. They're usually coming out in the night. Although they feed in the day, if you are, in fact, when you are highly infested with bedbugs, they will feed you in the day if you bring it. If you bring yourself, they'll feed you in the day, right? So they feed majorly at night when you are asleep. These people, I call them the night hustlers. When you are hustling in the day, they are resting. When you are now thinking of you want to rest, they are now, that's them they are hustling, right? So they hide in cracks and crevices, like I said, around your mattress, around your socket, behind the wall socket, behind your frames. So if you are thinking of solving bedbug problem and you're just focusing on your bed, then you're doing yourself another harm because you have ignored other places that they stay, which is the electrical socket, the walls, even the roof. Sometimes in high infestation cases like that, you get to see them on the roof. And usually they have these flat bodies that makes them literally hide anywhere, right? For us, right, as pest control technicians, if we're going to inspect any facility, all we need is just the ATM card. All we need is just the ATM card. What I say is that we use ATM card to withdraw bedbugs from their hideouts, right? Anywhere ATM card can actually slide in, anywhere they can slide in, that's possible hideout for bedbugs. Anywhere they can hide, anywhere ATM card can go in. So if you are thinking of solving bedbug problem in your apartment and you have a product that you want to apply, proper application of the product is important. Anywhere the card can go in is a possible hideout for bedbugs, right? So make sure, and they avoid lights. They avoid lights and human activity during the day. So those are part of their lifestyle, right? They also have a very good feeding behavior. Like I said, treating from the source. The question is always, what attracts bedbugs to you? What attracts bedbugs to us? Right? Number one, CO2 that we exhale. Right? We inhale oxygen and exhale CO2. Our body eats, then the body odor. So that's why most times when you visit someone, right, and you have just your bag on that person's bed, and the bed is infested with bedbugs. This is a practical example. If for instance, I just come here now, and this chair is actually infested, and I have my bag or any of my material around that particular chair, there is a possibility that I'm going to take bedbugs back to my house. Why? Because every property that you have, there is this just human behavior that you have. If someone can actually smell you around your clothes, right? These are body odors that everybody have. We all have it. Those are things that attract bedbugs into any of the property, any of the materials. Okay? Three things: CO2 that the host exhale, body heat. So that's why most times when you're sleeping on your bed, all of a sudden you start to see them going out. And after some minutes, when they bite you, you can't find them again. Because when they bite you like this, they're going for their hideout. Now, let me give you a secret now. When you're inspecting your bed and you notice that there is egg around one area, right? You would then know that there is bedbugs in the next area. So what I mean is, like, for instance, if you have the eggs, let's for instance, when we inspect this place now, and we are seeing the eggs in this area, right? There is ultimate possibility that there will be bedbugs around this particular area here, or underneath. They will be nearby. Because, number one, the female, when the female mates and they lay up eggs, when they lay up the eggs, they stay away. The female, they stay away. They look for another hideout to stay. Because number one, they are running away from the middle. Right? They are running away from the middle. That's why infestation is always spreading faster. Like I said, treat from the source. What is exactly, because now I've talked about why they are there. Now I'm telling you why they are spreading. Are we good? So this is very, very simple to understand like that. Number one, bedbugs live in migrations, infesting shelters periodically. Right? Like I said, they usually come out, they feed in the midnight, and they are out, they are done with their food around 5 a.m. And everybody now returns back to our normal sleep around 5 a.m. Right? So we have that same issue. Okay? So, and again, if you are dealing with bedbugs, it is not a one-time treatment that solves bedbug problem. That is why when you carry out bedbug for the first inside, after 2 weeks, you are back again. Because there is a cycle for these bedbugs, as I stated earlier. Like I said, treat from the source. What exactly is attracting them into your apartment? And start to deal with them from the source. Right? The moment the eggs begin to move into the nymph stage or into the adult stage, it takes 7 to 10 days. Jot things out, 7 to 10 days. So it's expected as a professional or as an homeowner who is trying to use a particular product in your apartment, right? You need to go back in that apartment again to do another entire treatment after 7 days or after 10 days. Most importantly, you must not pass that 10 days. You must go back for the follow-up treatment. Right? Next slide. So now, when you are looking out for bedbugs, you need to understand where are their common areas. Where did they stay? I said this before. Most times people forget the curtains. When you are spraying or you are doing anything, they forget, or inspecting, they forget the curtains. That's another idea of where bedbugs hide. And you see them behind the curtains. Right? You see them behind the curtains, you see them around the headboard, you see them around your bed area. Not really so much of the bed area, actually. That's one of the most annoying thing because they are bedbugs. They only stay on the bed to feed. That's what. And when they feed, they run. They look for another hideout, which is the colony. Right? They look for another hideout to stay. So they stay around the bunks, the bookshelves, the sockets, and all. So this is a video from one of the halls that we treated. So the technician actually saw them around the baseboards. Can we say? Around the baseboards. These are actually live adult bedbugs. Right? Some of them are dead already. You see? No, this is just a face. You still see, you see how the apartments actually really infested. Really infested. So let me see. Then now, you see those black spots. If you have seen those black spots in your apartments, please read. Those black spots, fantastic. I'm gonna name those black spots. Right? See the ball. So imagine treating that apartment without treating that ball area. See those black spots. Okay, so that's the first video. Next one. So this video actually shows the level of infestation of that room. The level of infestation. See the electrical socket. The walls. That's another electrical socket there. I think this is the wall hanger or something. You guys hang your wardrobe. So now, if you check this video properly, there are some major things that we saw there. Number one, the black spots. But let me ask, what are the things that you noticed? Let's start with there. We'll look at that actually noticed. What are the things that you noticed? Good. The black spot. The hideout. Fantastic. Thank you. Please give a round of applause. Alright. So, number one, the black fecal spots. Those things are called black fecal spots. They are excrete that comes out of bedbugs after feeding on the floor. Right? Those are excrete. And because that excrete is there, it makes controlling the bedbugs much more easier. Right? Because anywhere you see those black fecal spots, is where bedbugs hide and where they are feeding. Right? So you need to start taking notes. If you see somebody and you start to notice those black spots, I better run. Run. Because so you don't reinfest your own apartment again. Right? So we also have the live bedbug that I talked about. Those ones are easy to see. right? You also have the nymphs that I showed you before. You also have the eggs. Those are signs of bedbug infestation. Okay, now how do you identify an infestation already? If you start to notice those things around your bed area when you wake up in the morning, or you start to feel bites, sometimes bedbugs causes what they call PTSD. I mean, it's not PTSD. You just wake up sometimes and like, what is biting you? You're not seeing what is biting you. You know. So usually, sometimes it is just the after effect of solving bedbug problem. It might not be bedbugs, it's just PTSD. You know. Or sometimes it can actually be a sign of infestation already. So because you are feeling that bite, or you are feeling that there's an itchy sign in your body when you wake up in the morning, next thing you need to check out for is start to look for fecal spots. Start to look for blood stains. Because if they feed on you, then probably you killed it in the middle of the night and you know you killed something, maybe one of them just died and you notice the blood in your belly. This particular picture was from one of our clients. She was saying, so I think I saw a bedroom in an apartment, but I just noticed this person around. So that's why I took a picture. Right? This also picture they also have shed skins. I talked about molting stage. Bedbug go through molting stage. Right? But before they go into that second instar, the first instar to the second instar to the third instar, they usually shed off their skin. They shed off their skin. Those are why you see, sometimes you see all this small skin on your, around those areas that are infested. Those are shed skins after molting stage of bedbugs. Right? Then the last sign is the eggs. Right? The eggs, then the adult bedbugs or the nymphs, the adult marks, or even sometimes the odor. You start to perceive the odor around your apartment. Right? So if you start to see all those signs, please start. Don't wait. Don't demand. For you to detect them, inspect your sinks. I wanted to get a bed here. What's inside? The bed. Yeah. Alright, so let's do more practical explanation about how to check your bed area. Number one, if you check your bed, it has this round, usually the beds that have covers, right? It has this round, this bed is exposed, round edge around it, right? So you start to see bed bugs around that particular bed, right? Then second, is if you have an exposed bed like this, then it is much more harder to control them because they have a lot of hideouts to stay inside an exposed bed like this. If you have an exposed bed in your apartment, it's just as possible to get an encasement. Get an encasement to your bed. Because no matter how you want to treat this kind of bed, where you will stay, where it will run also. No matter how you want to stay, there are a lot of holes here. So for instance, there are holes here. And they can actually start bleeding. Like that. I'm going to show you. They also check your like that. I'm going to show you. They also check your inside sockets and the cracks in the walls. Those are hideouts where bedbugs stay. Remember those signs. The eggs, the nymphs, the black fecal spots in adult stage. Right? Okay? So next thing, like I said, use your flashlights to spot movements. If you don't see any movements, use your flashlight. Okay? Then you also use your ATM cards. That's the secret. We don't use ATM cards to withdraw. We use it to withdraw bedbugs. In our own organization, right? So we use that to withdraw bedbugs from their nooks and crannies, right? That's what we use them to do. So anywhere that the ATM card can fit in is where bedbugs can actually have. That's the secret of bedbug control, right? So this is a video from my inspection. Let's see how you can see how this is the ATM card.
This one here.
This is the secret.
Debt from the festival.
See how this is
So
the
the important slide we have the double check so that we ensure the tables are totally good. And the second thing is that we check into the check.
double check. This was the second method of process. There's something I did here. I'm going to ask that question.
I'm going to using this card. Anywhere this card can fit in, there's a possible hideout for the customer. Then we start my ATM card. So you have to drop on the time to drop it. There are tips and tricks involved in bedroom control. Come to it. trying to put the eggs here, they don't hatch.
See, one thing is important about bedbugs, you cannot ignore anywhere.
So that's a double check, very good.
As a sofa, the button.
If you look at this, you have the chair there, but not actually chairs.
Then somewhere to see bedbugs.
So, you start the treatment next few seconds. This is as a
Fantastic, right? So what I did in this particular video here is basically checking all the possible items. Like I said, when you are treating for bedbugs, do not just focus on the bed. What we did there, we lifted the bunk, lifted the bed, and started to check every possible item, all the nooks and hands for bedbugs, for where they stay, and look out for. In fact, what we do is that we search for bedbugs until we see bedbugs before we apply anything. Now, the secret is that bedbugs only die on contact. Write this down. Bedbugs only die on contact. Whatever you're going to use on them or touch their skin, if you're going to use anything that doesn't touch their skin, it's just a waste of time. It's just a waste of time and waste of resources. That's why this thing they call smoke fumigation, which is actually not smoke fumigation, right? They go in with smoke. It can never kill bedbugs. In fact, it's going to bring them out. CO2. Like I said, CO2 attracts them, so it will bring them out where they are saying, because not kill them. Because they die on contact. And every insecticide, if you read the label of most of the insecticide, some of them will tell you that contact insecticide, systemic insecticide, right? This ones affect the nervous system and more, right? So they kill the insect based on contact. That's why if you're going to be applying or spraying anything, you actually look for the bugs when you are treating them, right? So now, why the bedbug infestation actually spread on campus, right? This is what concerns everybody right now. Now we start to look at the solution in solving this problem on campus. Number one, it's important to note that anyone, anybody, including myself, can bring bedbugs, can bring in bedbugs. People do not realize that they are transporting bedbugs. You won't know. Most times you go into that. There was this, I don't want to mention it's kind of, because we are like students, so I don't want to mention. There was this transport system that I took and I started seeing German roaches coming out from it. There's even one, we have the video on my Instagram account, SB Super Solutions. We have the video there, we send the video, we cover the driver, right? You see roaches coming out. That's the same way some people go into their house and they don't even know. You start wondering, how did I have roaches in my apartment? My apartment is neat now, my room is neat. Secondly, cleanliness has nothing to do with bedbugs. There are houses in Lekki that will go there, mansions that will go there and you see bedbugs. Like, this house now, not because it's not based on the fact that they are extremely clean. It's just the fact that anyone can bring in bedbugs. The worst part about those mansions is the fact that they travel a lot. So most of them go to Paris, they go to Dubai, and all those kind of things. So they don't have apartments there, they visit hotels. So they pick up these bedbugs from hotels and bring it and infest their house. And most of them are not wondering, how do we bring in bedbugs to our apartment? It's because anybody, anywhere, you can get bedbugs from anywhere. You just sitting on that chair, maybe not plastic chairs, but maybe on this sofa chairs, can actually be infested and can spread the bugs like that. But now, how do we now look at the major causes? Number one, second use, or what we call second-hand use materials. There was someone, one of this, I think it's UI chat group or something. The guy posted, I did a video of it. I saw the caption on that chair, and I made a video about it. It's on our page too, right? The guy said that, I think the sofa is 10,000 naira. But he now said, he put a disclaimer there. He said, this particular sofa needs to be exterminated. What does that mean? Is that the guy bargaining with bedbugs but doesn't need his money and he wants to sell out the sofa? So sometimes the reason why you have bedbugs is because of some of these second-hand materials that you buy. Now that you now know better about the signs, the moment you start to see those black fecal spots, you start to see the hideout, you start to see the names of the adult stage of bedbugs, then you know that this kind of material is not for you Or probably, even though you didn't even see the adult, so far you are seeing the black fecal spots, it means that probably the person has treated the chairs or the bed before selling it out. People probably got tired of treating and just want to sell out the box. So be careful of second-hand materials. That's exactly why you have bedbugs. Right? And in the university system like this, there is a cycle which I'm going to explain. When the university system carries out pest control treatment, although there was a time I saw them carrying out the treatment, and most of the products they were using were actually agrochemical. Right? And I've explained this about why you still have bedbugs even applying agrochemicals before. It's the fact that they don't kill the eggs. Right? So I saw them spraying these things, and I'm like, these things will not kill the bugs. You might actually kill them. Right? You might kill them because the way they were carrying out the treatment, they had this charcoal sprayer and they were going through. Remember what I said? For anything that's going to kill bedbugs, must touch them. So it means that we're going to carry out the bedbug treatment. You need to first look out for them. Where are they staying? Check the bones. So if you're not doing that and you're not spraying, like that, you're not solving the first problem. Right? So number one, this part of this is why the infestation on campus has never been solved. Right? Number one, your treatment method. I did check the type of treatment method. I'm going to explain those treatment methods here. Right? Secondly, shared belongings. When you move out of your apartment, your hostels after your exams, you go home, right? Most people carry these bedbugs back home. They infest their homes, right? Then afterwards, when you are resuming back again, you bring that same luggage from you took home back to the school. Then you transfer the bedbug. That's what we call reinfestation again. So the cycle continues. Now, how do we now break the cycle? I'm going to explain that, alright? Now, I also talked about resistance. I talked about resistance initially. Bedbugs go through 3 different resistances. The metabolic resistance, it means that their immune system is very strong. It cannot take these insecticides again. Right? So they have this enzymatic enzyme inside of bedbugs, like the P450, right? P450, GST, and all. So those things are causes them not to take in pesticides. Right? So because of the fact that you overexpose them to the same insecticide, it becomes harder to control them because their metabolism or their metabolic nature is actually resistant to the insecticide. Right? I remember that also pesticides have different action, how they work. Some of them are made to work in the nervous system. Right? Okay. So you also have insecticide penetration resistance. Their skin become very strong. If you notice, check most of these bugs, you notice that you start noticing these black spots or white things around them after some point. I don't know very well I noticed that. You start noticing like white spots around the bed bugs because those are signs of resistance around them. Those are signs of resistance. So the moment you start to see bed bugs that have those whitish coloration or maybe deep, dark black coloration, it means that they are very resistant to insecticides. Or what we call the target size resistance. Right? So these are major resistance that bedbugs go through. They also have cluttered environments. Most of the rooms you have in our hostels are, let me say that, you have a lot of clothes hanged everywhere, you have a lot of things hanged everywhere. If you have a cluttered apartment, it causes bedbug infestation to increase drastically. Remember, they have places to stay, they have areas that can actually cause them to breathe the more. Right? So also have DIY products, over application of DIY products. So now, there are ways to actually carry out bedbug treatment without the use of insecticide. I made mention of that, right? I'm going to show you, right? We also have one treatment method, and I've explained before. You just come in with a sprayer and you're just spraying or maybe I just come with this compressor sprayer, and I'm spraying the beds like that. In fact, you are not meant to apply insecticides on the bed. Another one. Insecticides are not meant to apply on the bed. Right? We meant to start to apply insecticide. Remember that most of these products have residual efficacy. Right? Which is actually very, very dangerous. They have residual efficacy that lasts for a couple of. Most of these agrochemicals, their residual efficacy lasts for just 7 days. Because they are meant to be used on farm. So it needs to wait off after some period of time. Right? So it doesn't stop in maybe a tomato or something like that. But public health insecticides, they have residual efficacy for like 3 to 4 months. They're meant to stay for 3 to 4 months. That is why the law right? The regulatory bodies, if they are doing the right thing, every residential apartment is meant to carry out pest control treatments at least 2 to 3 times in a year. Every residential apartment. While for commercial facilities, need to carry out quarterly. That's every 3 months. Every 3 months, any commercial facility needs to carry out treatments, pest control treatments, right? And when I mean treatment, doesn't mean that you just come in and spray insecticides. It can be exclusion. It can be blocking up the holes. It can just be maybe residual dust application, right? So also the type of insecticide used also determines the effects that you have and the long-lasting effects that you have in solving the pest problem. Okay? So common mistakes. There are common mistakes that we find ourselves in while we still have these pest issues. Number 1, DIY sprays and poor treatments only kill the adult like I said. Improper application method. We can have the same products, right? We can have the same products and I'll have perfect results than you. Because I know where the bedbugs stay and I'm only going to apply my insecticides where they stay. Right? So you necessarily don't need to start to spray everywhere when you are dealing with bedbugs. You need to be strategic in your spraying. So if you are going to carry out any treatment after this session, you'll be more strategic. Agree, right? Yeah. Fantastic. Okay, so over-dependence on pesticide control method is another mistake. Right? I feel like at the end of this training, probably the Council of Health Ministers, which is part of our partners, would write a proper letter to the school. Because the school is meant to have a proper treatment plan. In fact, funny enough is that sometimes they can be scared, oh, I don't want them to close down the school. You necessarily don't need to close down the school to carry out bedbug treatment. Right? We can carry out bedbug treatment like this, while everybody has seen here. And nobody will have health issues. Because whatever we're going to be using will probably just be heat treatment, steamers, or vacuums that we have there. And they have no effect. Right? Or probably those applications, like the isolations earth or silica dioxide, which is natural product. Right? So we can actually carry out effective control without application of insecticides and still have people staying on campus effectively. Right? So over-dependence on pesticides causes large effects on bedbugs. Causes large effects on everyone. And in fact, underestimating one visible sign of invasion or infestation can be another major mistake. There are some of our clients that will say, oh, I saw one bedbug today, and I'm not sure if I should be afraid or not. Madam, better start running. Because you need to be afraid. Because the moment you see one bedbug, just one, it's a sign that there's an infestation already. Just one. Especially when you now see the adults, or when you even see the nymphs, because they never know which one to be scared. If you see the heads, it's a problem. Because the heads will hatch. If you see the nymphs, it means that the egg has hatched to the nymphs. Right? If you see the adults, it means that the nymphs have hatched to the adults. So there's a problem already. So when you now start to ignore all these things and you're not underestimating them, it becomes a problem. Right? So you need to actually check properly and never underestimate bedbugs. Second, I created this bedbug infestation cycle, especially for campus, right? Entry method. How the bedbugs enter apartments. The entry. From the insert, from the first insert, you pick up the bugs from, probably I just sit down on this particular chair now. And I get infested with bedbugs. I take it to my house, then they start laying eggs. Like I said, the female, so far they did once, just once. The eggs is, like I said, right? So totally almost like 200 eggs in their lifetime. And in a day, they can actually lay about 5 eggs daily. So far they still feed on blood. All they need is your blood. So far they just one meeting. Last year, can still cause infestation. All it doesn't is your blood and start to breathe, right? Egg laying starts. Then the next thing is the nymphs. The nymphs starts to develop, it starts to move into the feeding and the hiding area. The feeding area is your bed, your sofa, your mattress. Most times, check out where do you spend most of your time. These are places bedbugs will hide. Where you spend most of your time, where you spend most time is where bedbugs will actually hide. Then you start to have population growth, and it starts to increase in numbers, right? Then the next thing is the infestation. How did they now start? How did they get into apartments? Again, I've said this before. For instance, after during the holidays, you guys pack your stuff back home and you bring it back again. They infest your apartment. But now, how do we now break the cycle? Right? How do we break the cycle? Because if you are not careful, the cycle will continue. That's why we are still in that same problem till date. Now, in bedbug control, there are 3 things. Just this example. There are 3 things in bedbug control. Number 1, heat or steam treatment. Where we have our steamers. So this is actually a steamer. This is actually a steamer. So in other Western countries, you have a proper heat machine. Heat machine, but because Nigeria we don't have lights, right? Sorry. We understand where we are, right? So those kind of equipments cannot be encouraged, right? And it's really quite expensive. So we also have steamers. Steamers can actually kill the eggs, it can kill the adults, and it can kill the nymphs. Remember their life cycle, the eggs, the nymphs, and the adults. If steamers can kill the eggs, the nymphs, and the adults, why then do you need to apply insecticide? Right? Why then do you need to apply insecticide on your bed? Remember, you are not going to actually apply insecticides on your bed. Right? Because it's actually dangerous. Because the moment you start to apply insecticide on your bed, it becomes health effects. You start having rashes. Because the insecticide starts to react. Then they say so dry the bed. The moment you remember I talked about the fact that when you take up your bed outside of your house, it becomes another infestation problem again. Right? So I was talking about how do we now break the cycle. Number 1, the heat treatment. Number 2, insecticide application. Insecticide can be applied around the baseboards, maybe around the bunks. When you take up the bunks, not the bed, the bunks, you can apply the ones so you can kill them, so you can knock them down. Then the 3rd thing, which is the most important thing, is residual dust application, which is not what they are doing on campus. Right? Residual dust application. This dust application have this residual efficacy for close to 1 year. So it keeps knocking them down. So even though you bring up your bag from your house, back to your house, back to the hostel, because the residual dust is still there, it will knock them down. And they get dehydrated. It automatically kills the bugs. Right? That's the secret to breaking the cycle. I will say what at last. Right? Next one. So breaking the cycle. Number 1, double treatment is literally important, very expensive. Right? You can apply dust on the wet surface. You can apply dust in where insecticides are applied. Right? Because where you're going to apply the dust is where you notice the benefits, right? So double treatment is important to break the cycle. Then secondly, introduce vacuum, steamers, and heat treatment. That's the vacuum there. But there are different types of vacuums. Not all vacuums can actually do the work. So you can have the wet and dry vacuum. You can have the HEPA filter vacuum. There's what we call HEPA filter vacuum. HEPA. High efficiency particulate matter or something like that. You can check it online. HEPA. Right? HEPA vacuum. That it has an HEPA filter inside of it. So what that does is that it makes it more easier to suck up the bedbugs from their hideout. But they will not have a way to go back out again. Different from your wet and dry vacuums. So not all vacuums can actually do the work. So why then do we not need to apply insecticides? Not necessary. Right? So you can actually carry out this treatment without applying liquid insecticides that causes odor. Right? And if you are using the public health insecticide, the residual efficacy is just for the next 3 to 4 months. But it is stated in the label that the entry period, when you are going to go back into your apartment or into your hostel, usually if you are using public health products, take note of there are 2 different things. Public health products, the re-entry period in the label of the insecticide usually states 2 to 3, sometimes some of them 8 hours, max 8 hours. But if you're using agrochemical, even after 3 days, because the smell is enough to even knock you down, not even the bedbugs. So it's very important that you also read the label in anything that you will be applying in your apartment. We also have residual dust powder. I've talked about that. It gives long-lasting residual efficacy. That you also reduce clutters. All those clothes that you've hanged around your wall, maybe you're the type that just when you come back, you drop your shirts in anywhere, you hang it anywhere, or you put your luggages anyhow. Please stop that from today, because that is exactly why you still have bed bugs in your apartment. You need to ensure that all your luggages are packed properly.
right? So now, only use professional treatment, and I've actually even stated most of the best treatment method that you can use. Next slide. Okay, so this is a pictorial example. This is one of the most used HEPA filter vacuum, Ego, one of the most used one. I mean, not even available in Nigeria, like that's quite even expensive. Also, we have this Henry filter. Okay, good. This is the Henry filter. This is the inside of that particular filter vacuum. So it has the HEPA filter, high efficiency HEPA filter bag, right? You also have the steamer. This is another steamer, poly steamer. Then you also have this steamer. Then this is the heat treatment method I was talking about, the heat. But because of Nigeria, light issues and all those kind of things, some of these things might not be encouraged like that. But high energy, above 60 degrees. Anything above 60 degrees, any heat. That's why even hot water, this air dryer can actually even kill bedbugs, right? People use that, right? Anything above 60 degrees can kill bedbugs, right? That's another secret. All right, so I talked about insecticides. We are all used to these particular insecticides, most people make the mistake of using a particular product, forgetting that the difference between that product is not the brand name, but the active ingredients inside of it. I take for instance, you buy Sniper, and after 2 weeks, you see Sniper is not killing it, you buy DD-Force. You are forgetting the fact that both Sniper and DD-Force have the same active ingredient of DDVP, dichlorophos, right? And both of them actually have the same active ingredient, the class of active ingredients which is called phos. So when you are dealing with pests, you need to first understand the label. That is why it's important that professionals need to actually get involved in getting rid of them. These are part of the reasons why we still have resistance issues. These are part of the reasons why we have pesticide resistance. So before all those kind of products can kill them, now imagine you apply Sniper. The university system is actually even bringing people that are applying another organophosphate again. How then do you now solve the pest problem? So it will still continue. It becomes a cycle. That's why you see have high infestation of bed bugs on campus till date, right? So these are examples of classes of insecticides. We have pyrethroids that actually disrupt their acetylures, similar to organophosphates, right? And we also have different active ingredients. So you need to take note of things because these are things that you will see in most of the products that you buy. Some of them will tell you the active ingredient is fipronil, which is our insecticide has fipronil inside of it. It also has detamethrin inside of it. So it's important when you're buying products, read the label. Read the label. This insecticide was actually made to kill bed bugs itself. It's also made to kill cockroaches. That is why when I started, I talked about fipronil. Fipronil, the magazine they published at fipronil, bed bugs have gained resistance to fipronil because of the fact that even we are not bothered because fipronil itself is not labeled or manufactured to kill bed bugs. It is basically, it works perfectly well for, right? So you need to understand the label of these pesticides. Cool. Okay, so what are the preventive measures in ensuring that these bed bugs are actually gone totally? Now you understand the cycle, you understand the treatment method to apply, you understand how to break the cycle, what to do, and how to do it. Next thing is, how do you now prevent reinfestation of bed bugs in your apartment? Now, inspect your rooms regularly. For the 3 signs, what are the 3 signs? Black fecal spots, blood stains, shed skins, fantastic. Eggs, what do you call it? The bites, fantastic. Blood stains, fantastic. Thank you very much. All right, so and immediately when you start to see just those signs that you've listed, report the signs of bed bugs, probably to the hall warden or maybe to the authority. Increase your volume, please. What do you say? The same hall right now. I mean, like I said, there is supposed to be a proper treatment action plan in solving pest problem on campus. And I feel like, the major reason why we are educating students is first to create awareness about these pests. Number 2 is to ensure that every university, every schools, and we are not just even going to universities, we're going to secondary schools. In fact, secondary school actually have 6 weeks training with us. 6 weeks training. So we are training them on pest biology, entomology, and all those kind of things, right? So it's a rigorous training, basically to educate people about pest control, pest and pest control. Okay? So there is meant to be, there is supposed to be a treatment plan for every halls, every hostels, and even every universities, basically. Now, avoid over applying DIY products. Those products that you are used to already, now, the one you applied last week, the one you applied yesterday, avoid it, right? Try different treatment method entirely. And in trying different treatment method, get a professional involved, right? Get a professional involved. It helps, right? The next thing I wrote here, shine your eye. Repeat after me, shine your eye. When, when you visit public spaces, please shine your eye away. So when you visit public gatherings like maybe even hotels, when you visit hotels, check. Most times when I go to hotel, probably when I travel and I have to just crash at the hotel, I would have to check, lift up the bunk, lift everywhere. Man, no carry, I go my house. Like that. Same thing as And remember, major focus is make sure that every client that comes to us sleep without worries. Thank you. Every client that comes to us sleep without worries or pests at night, right? Because of that mantra that we have to make sure that that problem is solved. Are we following? Right? So sometimes it could be that you don't even need to actually even stay out of the house to carry out. I mean, stay out of the hostels. Right? Probably that's when they fear of the university. Okay? So improve hostel monitoring. These are things that university actually need to do. Ensure that there is proper monitoring. What are the health ministers doing? What are these floor reps? Right? In terms of bug control. of cleanliness. Possible to stop bed bugs in every hostels, in every household. It is possible, right? Let's talk about it. Act early and treat every report. Like what we're doing right now, right? As PestInsight for school, we are committed to keeping you informed, protected, and empowered. If you ever suspect an infestation, please don't hide them. Don't keep them. Don't stigmatize, right? Speak up. All right. Thank you very much. My name is Shopper Sophilus, SB for short. I think I have. Okay. So I'm open for questions and answers. I know every single person have questions. All right. So let's have it. Question sessions.
If you have questions, let's hear you.
Okay. Oh, how do we do it? Should we take numbers? Let's take it one after the other. 1, 2, 3. Please take note of your numbers. 1, 2, 3, 4. Anybody else? Going, gone. 4 questions. Okay, let's have it. I think you need the mic. Yes. Traumatic insemination. Yes. Is it romantic insemination? Sorry. Okay. Okay. So bed bugs basically, the way that traumatic insemination is just, you see, how they mate is that the male has this, I forgot the name of they call the male organ, right? All he just needs to do is perch on the skin of the bugs. When he perch on the skin, he lays his egg inside of the adult of the female bed bugs. Then the male needs to do is to get blood. If it doesn't give birth to eggs, right? So blood is important for it to move, for it to develop much more better, to be more prolific. So you can actually have lifetime, but sometimes the semen of the male, even if it has it inside of it, it will not. It will not yes.
The only way we can actually eradicate bedbug is to do contacts.
Yes.
But I don't know. I think I read somewhere. All these rays that contain organ phosphate.
Raid.
Said
Okay.
the nervous system.
Yes.
So and all those rays are like aerosol. By inhaling them, can't those things kill them?
Fantastic question. Please give him a round of applause. Fantastic question. You see, I was expecting that question because I made mention of the fact that bedbugs only die based on contact. But you bedbugs, most of these insecticides, now the world is advancing and manufacturers are also advancing with it. I've seen a couple of aerosol spray. I think Sniper has one that has contact skill that can actually kill, which is actually aerosol, right? That can actually kill bugs, right? Now, if the product is not labeled as contact kill, like I said, if it's not labeled, it means that what is written on the body. Every product have their MSDS, their material safety data sheet. You cannot find them around here, right? This is a label. If the product is labeled as contact kill, then it can kill the bugs. It can kill the bugs. But if it's not labeled as contact kill, it cannot, right? Because bed bugs don't perceive odor. That's the answer. Bed bugs do not perceive odor, right? That's why when you spray aerosol in your apartment, you just spray red in your apartment. It will not kill them, right? Remember, you need to look for where they are staying. Imagine something is hiding here, you are spraying the hair. How will it get to this place? You know, so that's just, I mean, bedbug control is just like, you just need to assess, understand their biology, understand where they stay. It's as simple as that. Did I answer your question? Fantastic, thank you. Two. So you plan to travel because of bedbugs? So actually, if you check online, right, they will tell you based on research, it's between 6 to 12 months. If you check others, you see 8 months. 8 to 12 months. Months, not even a year. So if you plan to stay out of the house for like 3 weeks, I've seen most of our clients who tell us, I'm staying out of the house for like 3 months and I'm not coming back. Boy, you are disturbing yourself. They will still come back. You know, so now, it all depends on the temperature of the room. It all depends on the temperature of the room. Have a very warm, cozy apartment. In fact, it can exceed that will still continue breathing, right? So it all depends on the temperature of the room, right? So if you have high temperature in your apartment, maybe like high heat above 60 degrees, within how many, maybe within hours, they are gone, right? Usually those heat machine that I showed earlier, they go as high as 150 to 120 degrees. So they can penetrate in between walls, in between. So what they just do is just put a machine, 1, 2 at different strategic locations, and the heat spread around, right? So far the heat can spread around, it will kill them. So it all depends. The answer to the question is that it all depends on the room temperature, right? So usually, based on research, 6 to 12 months. That answer your question? Fantastic. Thank you. The ideal. Okay. Fantastic. Fantastic question. So the thing about bedbug is where you spend most possible hideout of bedbugs. Anywhere you spend most of the time. Your bed, your chairs, your sofa, in your apartments that usually stay, they will be there, right? But they have, generally based on research, they have particular locations that they hide. The electrical, you have wall frames. If this place is infested, there's probability that they will be behind these things, right? If this place is infested, there's probability will be around the curtain area, right? Anywhere. They can hide at anywhere. So far, that's secret. The ATM card can sort in. It's a possible hideout for bedbugs. That's our question. So anywhere that ATM card can enter is where bedbugs can hide. Just take note of those signs, those black signs. Usually they tell tale signs. They tell tale signs for you to be able to know that, oh yeah, there's bedbug in the area. Like the fake out spots. That fake out spot is like the most evident sign of high infestation, in fact. Right? Thank you. Does that answer the question? Yes. Caustic soda. Wow. Okay. Yes. Dehydration. They have antennas. Yes. It's just like, is that all? So, wait, I think I should take that one after that. Remember the question. So, how do you apply it? Let me answer that one. they have way bottle and this. You have to see these insects, right? Generally, all insects have behavioral resistance, but bedbugs do not have behavioral resistance. Rodents have behavioral resistance. It means that when you put in rodent trap here, after 2 days, one of them died from it. The next thing, that's why jumping over the trap. Right? This is that. I mean, there's a person that sent us so eating that trap. They have behavioral resistance. Some points just wave off. You notice that somebody died from one particular. That's why we have to also call bait shyness. Rodents can be bait shy. When we put in bait, we have to rotate the bait. We have to that bait entirely because they're already used to it. Since somebody fed on that food and the person died. I mean, sorry, the rodent died. So they died. So they died, and immediately they will change. They won't feed on it again. It's just behavioral resistance. Right? What geckos? What did they consume? So yes, blood. Yes, just natural. Like it's just they just. I mean, based on research, they just stay. They can survive. Let me place can start 2, 3, 1 week. If you don't eat, you start in body activity, right? But okay, yes, yes, they modify mosquito. Yes, yes. Okay, so for mosquito, actually, there's a recent research about kill mosquito, right? So what they do is they release genetic modified mosquitoes to feed on the live mosquitoes, right? So they won't breed anymore. If you check their research on it. But for bed bugs, I don't know. I don't think there's any reason. In terms of research, you need to be strategic about it. If I create a new gene of modified bed bugs, what will it do to the live one? Is it going to mate with it and not give birth to eggs? Because you already have males already. And remember, they just need to mate once and have 500 eggs. Feeding on blood. So that's all from me. Thank you very much.
Can we please put our hands together? Can we please put our hands together? Can we please put our hands together? Are you sure there are no questions? Because the first thing SB said was one of the problems with treating bedbug is the problem of stigma, right? You are doing big boy. You are doing big boy. Bedbug is using you for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Ask your questions. From what he said, is there anybody who wants to like recap 3 things they have learned? Like 3 things they have learned and how they will apply it to treatment of pests and bedbug. Please pass it to the lady behind. Okay. Just 3 things you learned and how you apply them. Thank you. Glory, glory. Can we please put our hands together for that? That's lovely. Thank you so much. Another person who wants to share what they learned, like 3 things they learned and how they will apply it differently. Anybody from this side of the hall? Okay, another beautiful lady. And a male still get bedbug pass. Okay, bedbug that will come with fork and knife. Okay. Mhm. Okay. Okay, thank you. Please put your hands together for her. Now, I'll just be taking one gentleman. After this, we're going to be having a Kahoot session. Um, is set up already. We'll be having a Kahoot session next. So just one gentleman, and then we'll go for the Kahoot. Again, there are prizes to be won. There are prizes to be won for this. So just one gentleman. Anybody? Oh, okay, okay. Bring the mic to this side of the hall. Where's the microphone? Yeah, this gentleman here. Exactly. The what now? Sharp. Amazing. Please put your hands together for him. Please put your hands together for him. Okay, so those are some of the things that we have been able to learn from this very practical session. Would you agree with me that that session was very insightful? Would you agree with me that that session was very insightful? So, sisters, when you go and visit that guy and you are seeing his wall, you are seeing those black fecal spots. Run, no. So generally, no one is too rich or too posh to have bed bug. It can happen to anyone. You could pick it up from a hotel room. For those of us who don't stay one place, that are always traveling, it's very possible for you to pick it up from a hotel room. So it's nothing to be ashamed of. Seek professional help. Seek professional help. So now we're going to be going to a Kahoot session, right? It's a game, right? And we'll be asking questions. Questions are there. If you're familiar with Kahoot, it's very simple. So go to this website, or you could just scan this QR code. Either you go to the website or scan the QR code. The website is www.kahoot.it. Kahoot is spelled K-A-H-O-T. Steve has joined. Welcome, Steve. Kahoot.it. Legendary, welcome.
Please join with your real name.
So that we will know if we want to give you a prize. Legendary, you will give us your squad ID card that shows us legendary. Kahoot.it. If you are using,
you just take 40 participants.
If you are using, you know the app, you know the network that they are very slow. If you are using those slow network, beg your friend to give you a spot. Welcome, Kenan, Azim, Eriolua. Welcome, Steve. You can scan the QR code or use this. If you have gone to Kahoot.it, the pin is 1548718. Abdul Ghaffar, welcome. 1548718. We're going to be starting shortly. Make sure you register. Now, there are prizes to be won. You can win insecticide, t-shirts, jotter, many more prizes to be won. You see that steamer machine over there? I mean, I'm not saying anything, but I mean, a lot of people. Fred, Heisenberg, Bamidele Lekan, Fermi, Oluwasegun, Fred, Benjamin, Abdul Hazim, Joshua, Ola Sahib, Paul, Abdul Ghaffar Azim, 17 persons. When we get to 20, we'll start. Kahoot.it. Yanolua, welcome. Kahoot, Kahoot.it. Kahoot.it. When you use that, you use the pin. Frederick, welcome. 1548718. That's what you use. Or you could just scan this QR code. If you are trying to join and you're having issues, just raise your hand so we know who can wait for you. If not, we are starting immediately. 1, just one person. 2, 3, 4, 5. This just scan the QR code. It's not difficult. Okay, please, if you are still trying, raise your hand so we can wait for you. Because we don't want to start without you. We love you. I mean, I do. S- Onikuloye. What? Welcome. Samson Adelatevine, welcome. Ayomikun, welcome. Ken, welcome. Shewala, welcome. YBS, welcome. Shegun Collins Olariwaju, Juwonlo, welcome. We have 31 persons. 40 is the max. At 40, nobody can enter again, right? So 9 more, 8 more people, if we are welcome. 8 more persons and it's locked. If you are trying to join, just raise your hand. Let's know who we are waiting for. Can we start? Raise your hand. Let me see you. Nobody's raising the hand and you're saying no. 1, I'm seeing just 1 person. 2 people. Please try. Beg for a spot. Adiola Ajagbe, welcome. It's Ajagbe. Ajagbe, I mean, it could be. Aja of nowadays, they have been doing too much. Joshua, welcome. We have just 5 more slots to go. At 40, no one else can enter. If you are in already, say yeah, yeah. Good, good, sharp, sharp. We have the numbers. And we're going to be starting in 10 seconds. 10, 9, SB, are you ready? 8, 7. Who else is he trying to join? 6. Sister on white, what network are you using? Which one is Yete? Just anybody sitting next to her on our spot. When you want to win prizes, that's when village people will remember that they have your phone number. Damn, you welcome. 37 persons, just 3 more people, and that's the capacity. Everybody good? Sister on white, are you good? Now, ladies and gentlemen, we are about to start. Are we good? Whether we are good or not, we are starting. In 10, 9, 8, 7, 6. Who is Ma? Sorry. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Let's go. It's fastest too. Fastest. So if you like, open your eye. Bedbug goes through how many insta before getting to the adult stage? How many insta? 7513. How many insta? Have you picked your answers? 7513. How many instas do they go through? It's 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0. Correct answer is 5 instas. 22 people got it correctly. Next question. Even although 22 people got it correctly, the fastest is the winner. Do you get? So, topping the chart is Steve. Where is Steve? Sharp. Be fast, be fast. Benjamin, are you here? Good. Next question. So, Steve, will you still take your position? Yeah, they play my fans. Female bed bugs need to mate before laying egg. True or false? This is a very trick question. It's a trick question. So I'm not sure the answer. But it's a trick question. It's a trick question. The correct answer is yes, they need to mate. But it's not immediately. They don't need to mate immediately before they lay eggs. But eventually they need to mate first before they lay eggs. Correct answer, Benjamin. Oh my God, Steve, you have dropped. You are not fast enough. Benjamin, are you here? Sharp, sharp. I like that. Next question. Are you ready? What is the recommended intervals between the first and second treatment? Don't bother. 8 to 14 days, 7 to 10 days, 24 hours. Let's go, let's go. Don't bother. 8 to 14, 7 to 10, 24 hours. Please reduce the volume. Reduce the volume a bit. 2, 1, 0. Correct answer is 7 to 10 days after initial treatment. That is when you do your second. Benjamin is still taking the lead. Where is Steve? Oh my God, Steve has dropped. Collins, are you here? Where is Collins? Okay. Benjamin, will you still hold on to your position or you drop? Bedbugs made through traumatic insemination. True or false? I don't think the correct answer is there because bedbugs made through what? Romantic insemination. As our brother said. So, true or false? I think this is very simple. The correct answer is true. The 8 people, we need to chase you out of this place. We need to. So, true is the correct answer. Let's see the leaderboard. Benjamin! Oh my God! Benjamin has dropped. Where is Dami? Dami. Sharp. I like that. It's not about getting it correct. It's about getting it correct fast. Next question.
Which of these are signs of bedbug infestation for you? Black people spots need X spots. Which one of them is odd? Sign of bedbug infestation except black people spot needs X spots. This is also very tricky. And your answer is spots. It's not just spots. That's the black people spots. Spots can be anything. Benjamin is back on top. Sharp. Collins, second. Okay. True or false? Disposing of your beds and chairs because of bedbug can worsen the infestation and cause the bedbugs to spread. True or false? True or false? Disposing. Does disposing mean throwing it away or taking it outside? Okay, let's see. Correct answer is true because when you move it about, it allows the bedbug to run into different crevices. And the leaderboard is still Benjamin holding on to the number 1 spot. 7 out of 10, true or false? Staying out of the house for 3 months won't eliminate bedbug. True or false? I mean, come on. For the brother who asked 8 to 12 months, yes, bedbugs are that resilient. So 10, 9, 8, 7, 5, 4, 2, 1, 0. 5 people. Wow. You know when they say you are putting your left, your right, and you speak there, but how do you guys are doing? Benjamin is still at the top spot and he's not relented anytime soon. David was on
number 1 before, is now on number 5. Quiz, let's go. The most effective way to get rid of bedbug is to burn and dispose of all your furniture. Rely on the best insecticide in the market called your word. Use strictly the integrated pest management approach.
Called your word.
I mean, for those of you who don't have your all-wording number, we have the health minister here to give you the phone number to call your all-wordings when you need to report any bedbug cases as you may have. Correct answer.
Nice.
Who said call her wording? 2 people said call her wording.
Wow. So, D is the correct answer, and it seems Benjamin is just widening the gap at the number 1 spot. Again, remember, we're rolling number 1 to 3. Collins, Benjamin, Chef. Who is Collins with Benjamin? Please excuse, brother, excuse. Which of these is odd? Educate your roommates, parents on bedbug to avoid infection. Inspect your facility regularly to sign of bedbug. Stigmatize your friend that is infested. Communicate the infestation and act on it immediately. I still know that
there has not been any question that everybody has gotten. Some of you are sleeping, I'm sure. The correct answer is to stigmatize your friend. It is wrong. Which of this is odd? First, let's look at the leaderboard, ladies and gentlemen. Benjamin still at the number 1 spot, but Shegun is now on number 2, and Dami is back in the top 3. Bedbug on
I will do type of resistance except target cell resistance,
behavioral resistance, penetration resistance, metabolic resistance. So let's see how many of you were actually. Someone asked this question, so let's see who was or who were listening. And the correct answer is behavioral resistance. Behavioral resistance is that resistance that rats undergo, that they're able to know that this is sharp, you must be smart.
yeah. And the correct answer on the leaderboard is, ladies and gentlemen, third position, put your hands together for Collins! Right, Collins, please come outside. Second position, Dami. Dami went as the winner for this car, which was organized by PestInsight edition, goes to Benjamin. Benjamin, where are you? Benjamin? Please put your hands together for them. And come outside. First, second, third, please come outside. Wait, pause. No ladies are in the top 3. Oh, sorry. Again, they don't need to know this thing. They are not used to bedbugs, so it's understandable that they don't know it. Okay, one position. Okay, let's get the third position first. Third. Please put your hands together for the third position. Let's go. Come forward. Thank you. And the second position goes to Dami. Thank you so much. And the first position as the award of Professor of Bedbugology goes to none other than Benjamin. Put your hands together for Benjamin. Put your hands together for Benjamin. Put your hands together for Benjamin. Amazing, amazing. Thank you. So these are some of the amazing prizes that are presented to our top 3 winners. Top 3 winners for the count competition. Again, after this session, we are just going to be having an interactive session. We'll officially close the event. How do you use this? There are some of the products outside. You can also interact with them. The amazing staff from SB Super Pest Control, they are also outside. So you can ask them questions and get to understand a little bit more of how you can protect yourself from these pests that might be affecting your rooms, your hostel, your babe's room, and what have you. So right about now, we're going to be having group photos. We're taking the group photos outside. Before we go out for that, we'll have the vote of thanks. We'll have the vote of thanks by Ms. Rukayat Ibrahim. Please put your hands together for her. She comes outside. Put your hands together for her. Put your hands together for her.
Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you for honoring our invitation, your presence, and we hope that when we have more of this kind of program, we'll see you, recommend people, and whenever you have pest infestation in your house, reach out to our company to come and do the pest control for you. Thank you, everyone. So nice to have you here. Thank you.
Okay, thank you so much for that very brief and succinct vote of thanks. Now, ladies and gentlemen, so I think I want to inform you that we are now at the close of the event. So now this is the place where you get to network, you can come outside, ask questions. If you want to know a little bit more aside what has been discussed in today's session, please reach out to SBT or SBT is here. You can reach out to anyone you see wearing this black t-shirt with PestInsight on it. Reach out to them, ask them questions. There's a stand outside with pest product. So for those of you who are interested in treating this pest by yourselves, you could just buy some of the products that are specifically for the pest you are currently being plagued with, whether it is bedbugs. Okay, so I'm also being told that you should not go yet. Everyone, the fact that you are seated here, you have something special from SB. Please put your hands together. Please put your hands together. Put your hands together. Amazing, amazing. So don't go yet. Don't be in a hurry to leave. Just sit down. Oh, in here. So just sit down and we'll be with you. We'll share some special stuff for you. It's been a pleasure.
Give somebody, and I give him like 2 people. They didn't.